Geelong versus Fremantle yesterday at the Cattery. The record, we all know about it, but Fremantle, Ross Lyon, anytime, anywhere. The Cats at the Cattery, Fremantle came and they were unbelievably good. Vossi said one of the most enjoyable matches he has seen in his time. 15-point winners, the Dockers. They beat the Cats by 16 points in week one of the finals last year. And, well, the boys from the West have a week off, Welshie. Yeah,
they went down to Simmons Stadium. A lot of talk about this game. The first final in Geelong, I think it was since 1897. And they were fantastic, Geelong, at the start. They really put the Freo Dockers under immense pressure. Zach Dawson got reported before the bounce with giving J-Pod a little clip. But the Cats started well first. 4 of the first 5 goals. Stevie J was fantastic in that first quarter. Crowley actually got changed after quarter time after starting on Matty Stokes. Went to Stevie J because he was one that was causing a lot of havoc around and making their work for Freo a lot harder. The pressure and the intensity of this game was absolutely unbelievable. Something that you see a lot of teams endeavour to do for a period of games to try and either slow or get the ball back in their half. But this went for the whole game and it was fantastic to see. Main here was brilliant. The Cats failed to kick a goal in the last quarter and the Dockers managed to, which really sealed the win for them. It was a fantastic game to watch. The 3 things I learned: Freo's cleanliness with the footy was the difference in the end. They were real sharp. When it mattered, they were the more cleaner side. Crowley, love him or hate him, he's crucial to the premiership chances for Freo. He was fantastic. And look, the 3rd thing was you can practice your skills, but ladies and gentlemen, it's all about timing. We saw Stevie Hill come off the bench. He gets a big tap out here, pops off the bench, thinks, oh, well, how good's this? Last quarter, falls in his lap. 3 bounces, 4 bounces, has a couple of options. He's like, nah, I'm going to make the highlights with this, settles and puts Freo into a prelim final on their home deck and gives them a real chance to make the grand final now.
It was a significant moment in the game. The other player, of course, was Michael Barlow, who played such a significant role in the game also. Just his long running to be able to get from one end of the ground to the other. That was a stoppage in the 3rd quarter where they kicked the first 2 goals. But his ability to be able to start in defensive 50 and work all the way down the field and run through the lines and end up into that back space that they created for most of the day was impressive. And the second thing that was impressive was just his work around congestion, just to free his hands, put his teammates into space. It was certainly elite.
The bloke who helped with that a lot was Aaron Sandlands, of course. Podsy, how hard is it to play against somebody like Sandland? He's just so big.
Yeah, I think he's such bigger, Lee. Maybe the helmet yesterday made him look bigger, but he came at me at a tackle yesterday and I thought he was a genuine giant. And some of these contested marks yesterday were fantastic, and his hands and his cleanliness for missing so much footy this year was phenomenal.
Going through a growth spurt at 30.
I can't believe he wears a helmet. There's no one that can reach his head out there. So he's got his helmet on, but someone that he gets under the skin of the Geelong players, Pods, and I don't know what it is about Crowley, but like I said in the second thing that I learned, he really does a fantastic job for his team. And you see Stevie J was on fire. Crowley goes to him, keeps him to just 8 possessions for the rest of the game, but he's got something over Geelong, and the players really don't take kindly to the way that he goes about it.
Yeah, I think his biggest attribute is he's pretty disciplined. He doesn't give away too many free kicks or doesn't get really involved in that off-ball stuff. So I think it's credit to him the way he's worked his game, worked on his game the last couple of years to be that kind of player.
Pods, there's a bit of a sort of a feeling between the 2 sides. It started very early yesterday. You got the first kick of the game and there wasn't even a bounce in the middle. Do you think Zach Dawson played things pretty well? I mean, did he set the tone? He's not built like Aaron Sandlands, but he's sort of sent a message.
Yeah, I think it's a final. I think, before in the change rooms and stuff before the game, you're just pumped up, and walking over to full forward, someone stepped in my way and I just sort of started to push him just because you're sort of, you're a bit sparky before a big final. So, and it eventually me getting a free kick, and unfortunately I didn't make the most of it.
Pod, you got your traditional roles. Hawthorn will get spoken about if you get through this week. But is Fremantle the team? Everyone just has a team that they hate. Is
We're simplifying things now, Pod.
Is Fremantle the team that Geelong hate right now?
Look, I think we've got a good rivalry because of every game we've played the last probably 3 years, even when Mark Harvey was coach, they've all been close. And Lingy will attest to that we've all been sort of one-kick games. So, yeah, I think Fremantle's one of those teams that we always have a good battle with, and, you know, we love beating them and they love beating us.
Yep, so he hates them.
There were spot fires everywhere yesterday, Bossy. Some trainers went out with fire extinguishers at quarter time and just dousing things. But Ross Lyon, after the game, he was disappointed with some of the questioning given such a monumental win for the Dockers.
Well, I'm not sure what you're alluding to. Are you talking about Dockers players or Geelong players?
Geelong players. We saw a few Geelong.
Well, I think you're out of line because what I saw some Dockers players go down off the ball.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they were as well. But
Yeah.
did you have a message to your players in particular?
What do you think?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the coach.
Well, I just think it's a silly question. We play within the rules. Yeah. Yeah. What's your name?
Mine?
Yeah.
Shane
Shane who?
McGuinness.
Okay, that's the best question you can come up with after 2 hours of footy. You're quite brilliant, Shane. Yeah, terrific. He's really disappointing in the context. Hang on, in the context of the effort we've delivered. That's why the disappointment. I'm still in a bit of shock at the garbage that was thrown up. So to allude was one team. I can't let it go because it's incredibly disappointing. And I'm not sure what you're alluding to. So I think you've got to look at what you stand for as a journalist, to be frank. Shane?
I reckon if I was Shane at that point and he said, "What's your name?" What is it? James Pozzelli? Or something. There's no way I would have told him my name. He was filthy.
He was, and there's a fair bit of feeling in the game, and that's fine. That's part of it all, isn't it, Vossi?
He would have had his gun loaded. Maybe not that loaded when he went in.
He had two guns loaded.
But he certainly come out with both of them. But I'm sure he would have anticipated the question. He would have got on the front foot. But that's obviously quite aggressive response.
And it was